No. He is the one throwing that. Mr. Obi is shooting from the hip. He's not looking. He's not taking an aim. He just, shoots widely like, what we used to see in movies back in the day, in the Wild Wild West. He is not being rational. He's absolutely irrational in his thinking and in his public commentary for a man who was governor for 8 years, who left nothing to remember in Anambra State by way of a legacy or transformation. But all of a sudden, he served as governor 8 years. He didn't have the wisdom or the smarts to change Anambra State, to make Anambra the beacon, that example of, governance in the country. But then, he runs for president, in 2023. And then now, he didn't win. He's sulking. Rather than actually get a perspective and, figure out what he did to lose so he can do better in the future. He would think that he can bring down the government by simply, being maliciously deceptive. That is wrong. I'm not somebody to, to go on that offensive in that manner. But Mr. Obi has crossed the line so many times. And I think that at this point, he has coming to him whatever he gets, he needs to manage it.
I think Mr. Morka is playing a script. He's possibly trying to impress his masters, because he was talking about Peter Obi's achievement in Anambra State. I think he has to go back and read properly before, tempering to address Peter Obi's performance in Anambra State. But first of all, we have to warn Mr. Morka, or whatever he calls himself.
Felix Morka.
Prince Morka. Obedience are very patient people. We are wounded in 2023, and we accepted it, and we kind of accepted our principal's plea for us to be calm. But let him be warned that anarchy is at the corner. By the time he starts to threaten Peter Obi, he has no right to come and, speak the way he's speaking. Peter Obi is a decent man. In fact, obedience are angry with Peter Obi.
Okay, let's talk about what Peter Obi has said, right? He's expressing concerns about Nigeria transforming into what he calls an authoritarian and repressive regime. Do you share his view?
Well, Peter Obi as an opposition leader, you're not expecting Peter Obi to come and, say hallelujah songs to the government. The government is practically not doing what it promised the Nigerian people. And there has to be someone speaking here. In civilized countries, they face themselves and they spill all these things face to face. Is it because our democracy is for dragging? You should be able to accept criticism. And I have not seen anything Peter Obi has said that is too bitter for anyone to accommodate. Peter Obi has done a fantastic job of being an opposition with concern about the Nigerian people. We are calling on the APC government to call Prince Morka to order. He has to withdraw his statement. In fact, he should be arrested for calling, threatening the opposition that he has crossed. Which line did he cross? We are telling the government what they ought to do for the Nigerian people to live. People are dying of stampede. People are hungry. The transportation system is not working. Bad roads everywhere. The hospitals have no equipment. So
people protested when I was governor. They even called strike. They shut down our schools for months, our hospitals for months. Well verified. We need more transparency. And when you talk about transparency in terms of figures, you show it, you elucidate it. Figures are not 1 + 1 is 2. It's not something you say it's just 2 because of. Tell us how we arrived at it and we'll believe. And when we talk about subsidy, as continuously said, if we are removing subsidy, what are we replacing it with? Where are we applying that subsidy we removed to? So if you say to me, I've removed subsidy, I'm going to use it to build this number of classrooms, to be able to pull out of school children into school, so we can verify and follow and track those schools. We have issue in health, primary health care, especially issue of infant mortality. Removal of resource subsidy will enable us to build this number of primary health cares in different, so that we can measure it. So you don't remove something without saying what is replaced and where we moving the money to. Or it's helping us to manage our debts. This is it. This. But here we have fuel subsidy removed, the debt is increasing, and we're not seeing anything. We have to continue our journey on democracy. It's government of the people, for the people, and by the people. However, we need to tweak it where we have some level of parliamentary system in it, like it's in South Africa. So we need to deal with issue of more scrutiny in our expenditure, in our borrowing, in efforts to be able to ensure that our scarce resources is prioritized to areas of urgent need for development, from security, food, all those areas, education. I'm not preoccupied about 2027 election. I'm preoccupied by Nigerians sitting today and having a better life. I've said it before, my politics is not about the election. I am not desperate to be president, and I don't want to. What I want to hear is that fuel prices are coming down, bread is getting cheaper, Nigerians are not. You cannot be talking about 38 million Nigerians facing hunger, and I'm talking about next election. Let's talk about hunger. Let's talk about managing our resources today. Let's talk about doing the right thing, the right behavior, showing example to the younger ones, growing up that we're leaders. I've said that everybody, they have right to protest. I've said it before. I would discuss with every protester. They even want government months before they did that. I would sit down and discuss with them. People protested when I was governor. They even called strike. They shut down our schools for months, our hospitals for months. Well verified. I was talking with them. I didn't come down. I have never, as a politician, as a governor, for one day, go and ask any policeman, say, please, stop somebody. Talk less of arresting the person. It shouldn't be. In a democracy, people have right to say no. I've said it every day. If I'm managing this facility and everybody loves me, I will resign. This is me. Wherever I am, I believe that I have enemies. My job is to convince them. If everybody loves Peter, there's a problem. There's people who hate me because I'm just Peter. They don't even need to give me any reason. It is my job to convince them on why it should be. I convince the teachers why we should return schools to missionaries, and they've seen the result. I convince them why we should go to the missionary facilities, the Ministry of Health, and build school of nursing and midwifery. You just have to. It's a constant thing. That's why you're a leader. You're a communicator. You listen, you talk to the people. It's not a question of what the young ones, I'll meet them. The agitators, the protesters, I will be talking to them.
Our coat of many colors must not be torn asunder. That is what our enemies would prefer. Each and every person who benefits from the ruination of Nigeria is an enemy of Nigerians. Usually, they distract us. They use religion, they use ethnicity, they use politics, partisanship. But we're part of the same tapestry, we're part of the same cloth, and we mustn't tear it apart. Yes, I would love to tear apart the iniquitous Nigeria that has held all of us hostage, but I don't want to tear my country apart. I want to tear down the evil system that permits the evil that has overtaken our country. I don't want to tear the fabric apart. No, it's the system. What combines together is the fabric. It's got a coat of many colors, yes, but it becomes a coat only because the fabric was stitched together. It wasn't batik. It's not batik. It's not tie and dye. It's a patchwork of different colors. You have diversity, but it only becomes strength when you find common purpose, when you're all pulling in the same direction. The Nigerian in the northern part of Nigeria must want the rule of law. The Nigerian in the southern part of Nigeria must want the rule of law. Because what ails you, as Mustafa, ails Amechi, the same thing is disturbing Olakunle. Nodu is afflicted by the same. The future must hold a Nigeria that is accountable to law, both by persons and by institutions of state. We are more than them. We are by far more than them. Good morning in a new Nigeria is what we need to be saying to ourselves.
It is in that spirit of good morning that we should be saying to ourselves, according to Dele Farotimi. When I say in that spirit, it is in that spirit that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar spoke in relation to what is happening. The inflammatory remarks issued by the Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Felix Morka, directed that Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, is the last general in the last general election. Let us see. I hope I'm here. I'm audible before you say that I talk to myself. Area. Yeah, I think I'm audible. So in the last general election, serve as a disturbing emblem of the current administration, unsettling strategy in addressing opposition figure. This threat against Obi, coupled with the prolonged detention of Mahdi Shehu, a prominent voice of dissent in other signals, and a worrisome shift toward an authoritarian governance. Wait, oh. I don't know. I don't know. I'm suspicious of this, the route they are going with this thing, because this word authoritarian is becoming too frequent. Is this something that something Garrity? I don't know. Uh, when they begin romance words like this, they're up to something. Now, so they now what am I getting at here? Now they call Trump Hitler fascist, but shit didn't work. So if now one starts with authoritarian, Tinubu is the, I mean, that's a ploy to getting re-elected again, because he ain't gonna work. But let's forge ahead. See, a chosen opposition figure, the threat against to be coupled with the prolonged detention of Mahdi, show prominent voice of dissent and others, signals a worrisome shift towards an authoritarian governance model, where the rights of opposition voice are being suffocated. The chance, the choice of words used by the APC spokesperson, particularly the suggestion that Obi has crossed the line, reveal an alarming dissident for democratic principle. Such language rooted in hostility has no place in a free society where civil discourse and engagement should reign supreme. A true democracy thrives on the healthy exchange of ideas, where the criticisms and contributions of opposition leaders like Peter Obi are seen as vital for the betterment of governance and the promotion of public accountability. Now, a couple of days ago, I was pointing out the fact that Concoso finished 2024 strongly by focusing on uh, Atiku in a way that it would define pretty much the conversation around Atiku presidency for the rest of the year. Then I also pointed out how the idea that Obi come out to address the people, the day, I mean, the timing is everything. And my next question was how Atiku could take come into the conversation because I mean, it's in a popularity game. You can't afford not to be on the news when your opponents are always on the news. It's just like as a pro athlete, if you know the train, your opponent the train. That's for sure. So that's exactly what this is about. So I was kind of like, how this man would take come into the conversation. But I think this is an attempt to answer that question. But I just decide to say, okay, you know what? I think the conversation is tilting towards Obi now. The noise is around Obi, the wave. So make I kuku take a shot. Make I kuku go support in that direction and see if I'll slide into the headlines again. Again, another person again that decided to want to take advantage of this Obi versus the APC is Showori, but again, Showori did not go towards Obi. I mean, he go today. I mean, because there's no way he can draw a support towards Obi because that's the only way to go in this on this one. You either support him or you keep quiet. Because any attempt to speak otherwise against Obi's move, it no go dey funny. So I think you understand that. So he went the other way around. He took the other way of going after Tinubu. I said Tinubu no go fit do like that thing now. If not like at the same video like this flying around, I was like, oh my god, I like this guy. I like this guy. I like the way they do it. Is. People don't just get it. But anyway, so it's coming a full circle now. The men's the competition is is gaining momentum among the front runners. So continue with Atiku. Atiku, it is not merely the right, but the solemn of duty of a democratic government to listen attentively to the voice of its critics, to engage in meaningful dialogue, and to allow space for the articulation of alternative viewpoints. Instead, we face with a chilling threat that suggests Obi must be ready for whatever comes his way. And I think that's what people who are not seeing Obi's point. That's exactly the part they are not getting. That Mr. Moke actually said exactly the way I think the way I think put it here. He said Obi must be ready for whatever comes his way. What exactly does Mr. Omoki imply by that? Now, which is why if we blame Obi for saying his life is being threatened. However, whatever claim he is claiming, he is right because Mr. Moka is not it's not stupid, right? For you to be speaking for an entity like a political party, that means you're good at your job, you're good at what you're doing, especially playing with words. For him to make that statement, it is an open statement, right? It's left for anybody to interpret it however he or she wants. And but again, the whole point is to start a conversation to them just exactly what is happening right now. Um, Let me play that video to see to highlight what article was pointing out there.
No, no, no. He is the one that's throwing that. He is Mr. Obi is shooting from the hip. He's not looking. He's not taking an aim. He just shoots widely like what we used to see in movies back in the day, in the wild wild west. He is not being rational. He's absolutely irrational in his thinking and in his public commentary for a man who was governor for 8 years, who left nothing to remember in Anambra State by way of a legacy or transformation. But all of a sudden, he served as governor 8 years. He didn't have the wisdom or the smarts to change Anambra State, to make Anambra the beacon, that example of, governance in the country. But then, he runs for president, in 2023. And then now, he didn't win. He's sulking rather than actually get a perspective and, figure out what he did to lose so he can do better in the future. He would think that he can bring down the government by simply, being maliciously deceptive. That is wrong. I'm not somebody to, to go on that offensive in that manner. But Mr. Obi has crossed the line so many times, and I think that at this point, he has coming to him whatever he gets. He needs to manage it.
Right there, at this time, he has whatever that is coming for him. He needs to manage it. Which Atiku paraphrase, but what exactly does? Okay, he said that the chilling thread that suggests Obi must be ready for whatever comes his way. What exactly does it mean? So that's the point where Obi, decided to take advantage of and said, "This is exactly what I'm going through," and it said, "I'm going through all this stress because of exactly what Mr. Moke said." Now let's continue here. So I think we say, what exactly does Mr. Moka imply by this? It is imperative that the ruling party provide clarity on its disturbance insinuation, right? But instead of providing clarity, Mr. Moka is now coming out to be claiming to claim that he has been receiving threats. Matter of fact, over 400 threats has been directed his way. So it's an interesting game that is at play here. Now, I think we continue. Say, equally troubling is the crude and disparaging manner in which the APC spokesperson has framed Peter Obi's calls for constructive engagement, likening them to a lawless Wild West scenario, which I don't know how people actually understand that you really throw the meaning why the phrase why word. What it actually is really if you ask somebody say if you see the drive past if you see the drive through Texas so Texas is so huge that you will drive 9 hours, you are still within a city. You see the inside one state that you have that feeling of old wild west actually mean. Anyway, so he continues it's equally troubling is the crude and disparaging manner in which the APC spokesperson has framed Peter Obi's calls for constructive engagement, likening them to a lawless Wild West scenario. Such reckless and derogatory expression cannot be tolerated. it is incumbent upon the APC to issue a formal apology to Obi and to the Nigerian people for such disgraceful language. Uh, the case of Malan Shehu languishing in detention without any clear explanation for his continual imprisonment adds to the growing concern about the erosion of freedoms in Nigeria. If there is anyone who has truly crossed the line, it is the Tinubu administration, who continues vilification of opposition figure as mere irritants to be crushed as a dangerous precedent. It is now time for all men and women of goodwill to intervene, urging the official Bola Tinubu government to recalibrate its approach to dealing with dissent and opposition. The time has come to put an end to the stifling of voice that are crucial to the health of any functioning democratic society. Atiku Abubakar. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Napolitis. So this morning, I think as of yesterday, Morka, Mr. Felix was still standing on his ground that he hasn't said anything wrong, he hasn't done anything wrong, and he has no reason to apologize. Let me see. I think I only wanted to talk about that, but something else won where he was standing in ground that he has no reason to apologize. But to my greatest surprise, just to wake up this morning, come the year and they run him out, complain of threats that over 400 threats has been. He has a record of over 400 threats, and actually he has passing them to the police. So everybody is claiming threats. Who is threatening who? Nobody wants to apologize. Nobody has fault. It's a win-win for the both of them, but at the same time, I think it's a lose-lose for the people. But one cannot help but to see shout outs to the obedience. So far, they won 2025. They win in 2025 so far. I don't know whether that's a good thing. Of course, they are winning. I can't hate. I have to celebrate. Dominating the right way. Shout out. But at the expense of what? Doesn't really matter at this point. What can we do other than to keep strengthening the existing structures, which is our institution, as we want to say, like the obedience movement. So it's interesting because I talked yesterday, say how you respond to Obi is very important. I'm talking to as in the government of the day now. How they respond to Obi or how they criticize Obi is very important because it's no longer back in the day. It's no longer yesterday. At this point, this happen to be the only vibrant opposition. And the only reason why it happens like that, it is because they are the one that the message that Obi has been tailoring is actually more resonating now than not that they don't understand the message before, but now it's as if it's in practical terms. They can actually feel and see exactly what the man is talking about, thanks to the policy of the government of the day. So and it will be better for the government of the day to actually understand that. I've been saying it. Take Tinubu out of the equation. Every other person around this government are they just dey do anyhow. If there's any time to remember, what's his name? Abdul Karim. Jaga Jaga classic Jaga Jaga now. That's exactly what the man was talking about. These guys are just doing Jaga Jagas in anyhow, right? They're displaying their affluence, their stolen wealth, they just like they are just their head is just so too far in their houses. But I don't think they see that. So they don't forget that Obi, yes, Obi now is part of the system, is an elite, but he has successfully worked hard to actually put himself in the mix of the people, to make the people can actually see themselves in him, regardless of how successful the man is. That's not the point. So that's an achievement that a lot of our politicians of today cannot relate to. They can, I mean, it's a dream for them to actually want to be able to be relate to where they were coming from. By the way, look, say most of these people are they're from space. So it's as if the more you criticize a man who the majority of the poor people can listen to his message, the more you are putting yourself on a very tight corner. So how you respond or criticize Obi is important, and that's exactly what is happening now, right? Pretty much every opposition leader will take his side, no matter how he be, they will take his side. So the obedience are winning the game at this moment. The other opposition movement is the northern elite, but I think they are losing the fight against Tinubu. They are losing the fight because listen to this.
Revenue bill as submitted to the National Assembly cannot stand the test of time because the revenue bill has gone contrary to some provisions of the Constitution. It is within the province of the federal government or any state government or local government to create an idea of expanding its revenue base. But the sharing of the revenue is not the responsibility of the federal government nor that of the National Assembly.
Okay.
It is of the National Assembly to the extent that when they look at the sharing, they will have to change the Constitution by going round so that they remove the authority of the revenue mobilization from that province. That has not been done. And to say, let's do more consultation so that people comment on this matter, I don't think it is a negation or a disrespect or even whatever against the president. It is not. This is our country. If the president presents anything, and we, the people of Nigeria, say no, I'm coming. We, the people of Nigeria, say no. We should be our views should be respected because the president and the governors and members of the National Assembly are there because we put them there. So they should respect our views.
Mr. Charles, would you not agree?
I winner.
I do. I say with you not agree.
For where?
Alhaji Abubakar, I didn't say we not agree now. Una agree say
I know listen to the interview. What you talk say they agree. That man no go rest.
rest care. Is there which kind in it na job they do? Who they work there? I don't be work now. That's a lifestyle.
My lifestyle, no be
A lifestyle be that. So no be just a flex.
no be
I
lie,
can't
na
job I
lifestyle.
work.
No be work on a lifestyle. Na lifestyle.
I
Na their
can't job I
lifestyle be that
work.
now.
He knows it, man. No, anything we talk, you no matter. Just call talk, sha. Make the hear say you talk. Don't finish. You don't go move
May your call this
anything.
stuff. But
So, I like that kind of job.
don't get with you the work. Now in life, you just dey live in life, they go so.
You laugh now. Don't be too talk. We are born to talk.
Yes.
They got to pay you, make you dey talk. There's nothing more sweet than that.
Hey, Nigeria, no easy,
So,
my brother.
Charles, I understand that you are the leaders of obedient,
Mm,
obedient chapters, Cherebo and Seraphim chapters of the obedient. You now una the thread only from your chapter alone over 100 threads. Now una send go give Felix Morka. What's going on? What did the man do
You say
now?
na 400. No be me, I don't be my own land. I just dey observe. I never know where they go. This 2027 where they come. So
Ah, don't worry, just come with me. Come with me.
you
I dey go
you
where
na
the money.
kwankwaso now.
I dey follow where the money
Have
dey.
you know?
No, Koko do you this time. I go bill am o. Na ASB that.
Well, you try for a last election.
ASB that. All of them get master. They work for person, so they will get paid there too. So it's only fair
Uh-huh.
for me to be paid.
Now,
So follow me. Now where
the
the money dey, I will find.
the opposition they will be there like you said before. The obedience don't the opposition don't they see small. Don't
No,
still the
obedience are loud.
this new year start with it start at least APC we don't still.
Obedience, last praise of no grief for anybody.
At least they don't still touch APC. At least they don't still. Felix Morka don't still work small.
Yeah, so
At least the APC know they know they get unclear like that now. They will see the work with.
so what do you think of Atiku joining Obi side in this war?
Atiku people will be like all people.
I don't know where people they hear you.
His spokesperson there with them against. No, yeah.
Is it?
I hear me.
I hear you now. It's a breakout. Maybe not me, sir, but I want to believe you now from your side. Hello? Hello?
It was obvious during the primary that immigration was the
Hello? Hello? Josh? Hello? Okay, that's not my fault. Hello? Yeah, I dey hear you. Josh? I dey hear you. Okay, that's not my fault. Hello? Yeah, I dey hear you. That's crazy. I dey hear you. Nah, not my fault, nah. Charles, Of course, now because you don't live obedient. Join them. Obedient network strong now. They ain't fucking around. They're not fucking around. So the only opposition group in competition with obedience are the northern elites who are giving Bola Tinubu run for his money. But the first funniest thing is that the PDP wing and the PDP wing of the northern elite by Atiku are open on their legislatures. Their representative in the government house, in the House of Rep and Senate, to stand their ground. That was okay. Let me play the video of that of what I mean by the PDP wing. So anytime they hear Professor Yusuf they speak and Mahdi, you know, say na article na they talk. So this year article complain here because he's yielding his influence through people that he believes are representing his interest, well, his interest, but quote unquote, now they really spend his money to get them there. Anyway, so listen to the guy first. So about a month or 2 months ago.
What the president essentially is doing is trying to pull all the resources to the southwest, particularly Lagos. Many of the oil companies are in Niger Delta, are in the Delta region. That's where they have their operations. But their headquarters are in Lagos. They pay VAT to Lagos. Dangote is paying VAT in Lagos with his factories in the north. What has Lagos done to earn that? So Lagos is getting all of that money. And now you're saying, oh yeah, that money is ours, that money is ours. No, it isn't. Lagos is what it is today thanks to the Nigeria's Commonwealth. All the infrastructures were built by Nigerian Commonwealth. The ports, the bridges, the everything. If anybody asks you, you must pay. So people need to be sensible. There is this thing they call in the old Zulu adage, Ubuntu. You are who you are because of me. It's common humanity. Northern governors met in Kaduna to talk about VAT. Oh, and they want to accrue more money. Let me say that they were not there for God and country or for the region. They were collecting there because they're not going to get more money. So this selfishness, oh, it's me, it's me, it's me, and the president is following that, it's raising antenna alarm in the north. To all that, yes, and the president has sent a bill to the House about his tax reform. That is his right as the executive. But it is the right of our representatives, and we're watching them very closely. It is the right of our representatives to fight for us and kill that bill if it does not do well for the people they are representing. End of story. There is no argument. There is no argument. This is what democracy is. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his own cannot do things without reverting back to the House. And we have our representatives there that we will hold accountable.
See? So the PDP wing are hoping on the representative to oppose the Tinubu's bill and stand their ground. Now, what is the current development? Listen to Wahaji. The current development in that regard. Let's see.
Revenue bill as submitted to the National Assembly cannot stand the test of time because the revenue bill has gone contrary to some provisions of the Constitution. It is within the province of the federal government or any state government or local government to create an idea of expanding its revenue base. But the sharing of the revenue is not the responsibility of the federal government nor that of the National Assembly.
Okay.
It is of the National Assembly to the extent that when they look at the sharing, they will have to change the Constitution by going round so that they remove the authority of the revenue mobilization from that province. that has not been done. And to say, let's do more consultation so that people comment on this matter, I don't think it is a negation or a disrespect or even whatever against the president. It is not. This is our country. If the president presents anything, and we, the people of Nigeria, say no, I'm coming. We, the people of Nigeria, say no. We should be our views should be respected because the president and the governors and members of the National Assembly are there because we put them there. So they should respect our views.
So the members of the House of Representatives, they should present their view. That means they don't fuck up. So the other guy was the president of the same members of them to get the deal done. But as of today, they already say, man, they fuck up, right? So that's what gives the obedience edge over the northern elite in terms of who is giving the government for the money, for their money, right? But that not being said, you see when how Atiku, how do you guys see Atiku taking Obi side in this this claim that everybody they form threats. The APC guy they first say that they threaten Obi is claiming the same thing. But Atiku will come out and pick his side immediately. Now the point is, even in picking a side, Atiku they call Obi the opposition leader. Right? I mean, I understand, of course, that is the right term to use, right? But for the kind of position Atiku occupy now, in terms of him wanting the same thing pretty much what Obi wants, and with his experience in this fight over the years, you can easily use another time to describe Obi. You can find that easily. No blame me. One may say, oh, you are paying attention to things that doesn't matter. Well, those things add up. Those are the nuances.
The captain, Guy United, Suleiman Damba. I am a goalkeeper, Stephen Joseph. Last man, Hamza Abubakar. My name is Julie James.
My name is Shadra Hassan, Kenya United goal machine. My name is Amanjura Usman.
My name is Yusha Ismail Muhammad Kopa, a co-member. Shaya Abraham, Enoch Edison. Jama'a ku taba wa babanmu. Let's put our hands together for Daddy. Our president can play basketball. Waziri yana da wato asali ready because the
So while Atiku is busy dodging every bullet that is in at him, whether from Konkoso or from Bala Mohammed, or the soft display of Obi, he is busy trying to prove how young he still feels. And that's why Konkoso came out and said, you know what, fuck this shit. This is not gonna we're not gonna pretend as if we have more people can give this guy a run for their money. Just because the fact that it's hold. It's time to move ahead, to move to another different generation, a different way of seeing things. So that is the contention, that is his fight. So he's losing on both sides. His men are losing and the national is giving us in. Every policies they're trying to oppose is not working. Can't seems to gather consensus within the house. His move to just keep roughing up of that Obi goodwill to in case Obi decided to change his mind, in case whatever, this so that the transition will. I mean, he is doing everything on the surface of the earth just to solidify his position to be the main guy. So I think yes, the man has been around for what since 1993, running for the same position. He's gathered a lot of experience. Yes, I mean, the more you compete in athletics world, the more you compete, the better you become. Not just in terms of performance, in terms of understanding how the game works, the politics of the game, and every other thing. So that advantage he has. But I don't think he has ever found himself in this kind of situation before, being the older guy in the room. He has always been the younger guy in the room. If you go back all the way to 1993 with them, MK Abiola and the rest of the, he's the younger guy. Fast forward to 1999 with the Obasanjo, he's pretty much the younger guy in the room. So he has only during Good Lord Jonathan and Yaradua that they kind of like, he has kind of like, they're still the same age group in a way. So the very first time is during Buhari, Buhari seems to be older. Even Tinubu again, everything around him seems to do as if he's older than Buhari. So this is the very first time that he is going to face a group of not just younger people, but hungry at the same time, who are ready to put everything online. So the very first time in his career, in his presidential run, he has found himself being the older guy in the room, the oldest guy in the room. So how can he defeat that narrative first? Gone are the days whereby you are sharing the young people's space with older people or older people that you are older than, kind of that you are older than. But this time around, there are younger people who they are younger candidates who the younger population seems to be fucking with. The UB is the show race. By the time, so how is it going to win that fight? Because that he has to defeat those that narrative out there to even get close to being the nominee. I understand that yes, getting the ticket is pretty much going by the same parameters, it's easy for I go get them. But with this, I don't know. But I think this is another thing here. If Konkoso no succeed, enter PDP. If Obi no enter PDP, the young people equation no matter again for PDP. Company more no young people for PDP again. So here we have his way easily. But if either Obi or Konkoso coming or both of them coming, there's a problem because Konkoso is coming with younger people from the northern angle into the party. Now, does that mean he cannot defeat him? No, that's not what I'm saying. He will feel better. But there's a but. It's a question there. Because Konkoso is not going to back down with this age of 18 that he started with. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. So, how long will him trying to rub off Obi's popularity? Because it didn't work. I think he stayed away from him. Like maybe what he believed happened last election was that because he stayed away from Obi because I mean to him he keep denying that or nobody say deny Obi or in any way, but it never fought for him like that. He just says, well, this guy didn't tell me that he's going to run, but now that he's running, I wish him good luck, right? But until Obi pulled what he was able to pull off, so he now say come more. I think the best way for me to do is to come closer to this guy, regardless of how either he come with me or not. So that maybe, maybe something will pop up at the last minute. I think that's the game Atiku is playing with him. Rubbing off Obi's staying with Obi because that's the only way you can get the young people to see if there's any way at all they have to support you. But let me see how Konkoso will take come out with this. Oh, this is becoming too sweet. So once again, congratulations to the obedience. They seem to be on the Lord. They are doing well as far as 2025 is concerned. They finished in 2026 with a bang, 2024 with a bang. They pick up right where they started. They finish all that with the follow to me. They pick up right there where they stop it with Obi's media interview.
The thing I need all of you to know is this. I am not unmindful of the sacrifices that you have made to be here today. May the grace of God find and locate you wherever you are. Amen. It is not ever an easy journey when you are fighting evil. At all. But some years back, before I started this work, God told me very clearly, and I heard it very clearly. He says, once have I spoken. Once has he spoken, twice have I heard. He says, the truth is enough. It is the only weapon by which you can slay the monster called Nigeria. The truth, nothing else. In my public advocacy, in my fight and my wars against this evil empire that we all live in, I have never lied against anyone. If I don't know, I'll say I don't know. That's true.
That was how 2024 ended. And Obi picked it up from there pretty good. And that momentum has been going. So it will be safe to say this month they will finish strong.
You asked. Any Nigerian who is still hanging around waiting for 2023 to change Nigeria is a fool. Line 20 Daily Faro me up.
and ask them to become president of Nigeria, 20 of me, 20, multiply their brain power by 10, factor of 10, and then force them to operate the 1999 Constitution with the governance system that is enshrined in it, we shall fail spectacularly. The problem of Nigeria can never be resolved by personnel changes. The system is designed with impunity undergirding it, and it can never deliver anything positive to the Nigerian peoples. Be those Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, whatever they care to be. Make an Igbo man president of Nigeria in 2023 and force him to operate the 1999 Constitution. Complete waste of time. Indi Igbo will continue to suffer the brunt of the wickedness of the Nigerian state. Every Nigerian is rendered stateless by the 1999 Constitution. It is an iniquitous, wicked, and evil document. It has nothing good for the Nigerian people. And the longer we continue to fool ourselves believing, and let me enter one quick caveat. Our rulers are actually very intelligent when they care to be, especially when it comes to their own preservation. And I know as a fact that they're already making noises about restructuring in Abuja. The Mace Snatcher and the Lawan and that one that calls himself Baja, all of them are sat there running helter-skelter, cobbling together some lies that they intend to sell to us as constitutional, what do they call it, amendment. Let's be clear. You cannot continue to build on top of lies. You can't sustain that lie. And as long as justice is missing in a place, you continue to have strife. We need to tell ourselves the truth, and that truth is that the closest we can come to normalcy in Nigeria is to have a return to the original agreements that founded this country. Those agreements are very clear in their fundamentals. One of them, federal system. Nigeria is today not a federal system. Let's stop lying to ourselves. The word federal was brought to life by the American election. Each state has its own electoral body because it is essentially a country within a larger country. That was what our fathers agreed. Nobody agreed a situation where a clueless man will sit down inside a rock and begin to issue edicts and diktats to every other person. Nobody signed on for that in 1960. All the constitutional conferences, beginning from 1948 all the way to the 1951, all the way to 1960, each and every one of them was very clear and unambiguous. Nigeria was meant to be a federal system based on parliamentary democracy. It wasn't by accident that our fathers settled on parliamentary democracy. They wanted to make democracy as close to the people as it could be. So it simply meant that if you're a parliamentarian, you knew your people knew you. It was the aggregation of the parliamentarians that determined who became the prime minister, and they were also the ones at the regional level who determined who became the premier. So democracy was devolved. It was easier for the people to become involved. What we have today is not a democracy. What we have today is not a federation. We've just become a nation of liars who readily accept every lie that we are told.
I, Felix Morka, did not threaten Peter Obi. Nothing I said in that interview begins to even suggest remotely that, Peter Obi, I was asking anything other than saying to the man who was asking me a question, he said, you guys are calling him prophet of doom or, voodoo economist. And I said, well, you know what, if that is what it's called, he has, he deserves it because he's crossed the line of truth. Now, I don't know by what medium or by what, effort do you then transmogrify that conversation into a threat to Obi's life and the life of his family or those around him. That is libel in the extreme.
I know Mr. Obi likes to quote figures from Bangladesh, from India, from China, but that's not what we're talking about. Let's move to the second leg of it. Has anybody threatened you? Because your own party is saying you have been threatened. And who are those people who have threatened you? How?
Actually,
because you two are alleged.
Absolutely.
You should also prove.
As it turns out, Peter Obi's allegation that the words I spoke in that interview threatened his life. Now, immediately, as I speak, I have documented no less than 400 threats, about over 200 of which are death threats. Documented. I'm not talking about people just, these are written texts that I have carefully documented and which, I'm providing to the law enforcement agencies, or people really telling me how they, graphically describing how they intend to take me out, to shoot me, behead me in graphic language. You see, this is not a joke. And it's gone further to some members of my family who have also been, threatened directly. I'm not speaking about just, suggesting in graphic, language. You see, but, I'm not concerned about that because, what has triggered this entire insanity cannot be attributed to me. I did not threaten Peter Obi. And so anybody who is threatening me, that is their decision to do so. But, I hope that our law enforcement system will respond as effectively as possible to also, bring those individuals to justice.
Everybody is threatening everybody. So and we are being threatened. The whole country is being threatened by them. Eh? If the rich are screaming of being threatened, the poor are being strangled. The economic situation. Who's going for them? Everybody is screaming threats, threats, threats.
You think leadership is a common case? No. Esther said, if I perish, I perish. Whenever you are in leadership, look at what happened to Donald Trump. In America, where security is everywhere. Yet 2 times now they wanted to kill him. Every profession has its own risk. If you're not willing to take the risk that is attached to any profession, step aside so that people who are given that mind by God will go ahead and serve God in that capacity. If you're an actor and an actress and you say you're not going to hug babes and you're not going to kiss them, step aside. Because that's what the job is. Don't come and say you're a born-again Christian. That's what the job entails. If you're a politician and you can't stand for your people that voted for you, and because you don't want to die, step aside. Because that's what the job entails. Any politician that is not behaving like Simfubara, who will resist and protest when his rights are trampled upon, knowing that our judicial system, knowing that our electoral system have failed us, that any politician who will not stand his ground, no matter the risk to his person, I said I will not speak for that politician again, and I maintain it. And you can see what is happening because we can't go forward. We calm down. If Simfubara has been saying calm down, do you know where Rivers State would have been? He said he's ready for them. He's fully prepared. The election must go on. The election must hold. Winners must be declared. They will be sworn in. And whatever is going to happen, let it happen. I am looking for leaders who would say nobody will rig my election. And if you rig my election, I will fight. Nigerians, come out and fight. If they kill anybody, let them kill all of us. Oh yes, and thank God I'm seeing it happen. What Fubara did, was he advocating for violence? Was he advocating that the law should be broken? No. He was advocating for his rights. That's my opinion. That's my advocacy. We must advocate for our right and stand by it. I did not disqualify anybody. I don't have that right.
I said, I am not going to speak for anybody going forward except this person meets this criteria. In any case, we have finished 2023 election. It's over. 2027 election has not come. So anybody who is saying betrayal, what am I betraying? There is nothing on ground. When I was a spokesman in 2023, I did my job creditably well, and we convinced Nigerians on what we believe is right. But you can see that in Nigeria, you not only have to have the power to win election, you have to have the power to defend your election. So anybody that does not have that spirit or power to defend the votes in a manner that you would say, whatever happens to me as a person, let it happen. I am not willing to speak any further for the person. So what I just simply said is that going forward, I will no longer be part of this until these fears are addressed. So I did not disqualify anybody. One, I don't have that power. Then two, I am not betraying anybody because I'm still a member of Labour Party. And you can see I'm still fighting that Labour Party should be consolidated because Nigerians are looking for an alternative to these people. That if you want to fight these people who are compulsive thieves and who are the worst amongst us, leading us, according to Senator Ndume, who is part of them, then you have to grow higher and be more aggressive than calm down. That's what I said, and I stand by it. In all honesty, I would have said we don't. But because I'm a student of theology, I would not say so. Because when Elijah thought he was the only person that was worshiping God, God said, no, you're not the only person. There are more than 7,000 persons like you still in that country that have not done anything evil. I know them. So the only thing we have to do in this country, we must not be sentimentally attached to anybody, any politician. We must not be loyal to political parties or politicians. We have to be loyal to the country and to the law. And if any law is unjust, we have to fight the law. If anybody is doing anything illegal, no matter who the person is, we have to fight the person. So in Nigeria, we must create the environment so that those 7,000 that we do not know who are leaders will be able to begin to emerge. If the good ones keep quiet, they will never emerge. When people say people are selling their votes, you know why they are selling their votes? Because they believe that even if they vote their conscience, it will not count. Not because they want to be corrupt. They saw what happened in 2023. I was an active participant in that election of 2023. They did not sell their votes. But after, it did not count. So they'll be like, why would I go and say I'm voting for my conscience when it will not count? If I'm going to take this money, at least it will be what I gain. So if we don't fight, we are...
I'm not go surprised if I hear say or see the Kenneth Okonkwo join the alternative or become Atiku Abubakar spokesperson. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. So after that tweet of Atiku support, I mean, a lot of people went to work. Somebody said the DSS should pick Felix Morka up immediately and find out from him that thing Peter Obi has coming for him and must manage. I expect him to be in DSS custody by now. Everybody they come for each one arrest. The Felix Morka is asking police to go after the people that threaten him to arrest them. Those on the B side are saying they should be Felix Morka himself should be arrested all the time. So the utterances made by Felix Morka were not only threatening but also insightful and a dog whistle to violence. Opposition, as done by Peter Obi, is not even up to one tenth of how APC did their Yes, when they were in opposition, they were very vicious and politicized. Me say what Obi said in that interview. I'm one of those people that say, "Come, this guy don't talk anything." I was angry. I was expecting him to go hard. I mean, just still be the gentleman that he was before now. So I didn't even see the press briefing as something that is even hard enough on the government of the day. But to my greatest surprise, it's catching fire the way it is. Uh, I just believe there's something up that these people are covering up with this noise. So thank you, Atiku Abubakar, the Turaki Adamawa, for your timely intervention on the critical issue of threats to opposition leaders like Peter Obi. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph in this world is for good men to do nothing. I like that. It should be recalled that the world over, men of means and substance have always led the opposition against tyrants like Bola Tinubu. For example, men of means and substance led the opposition against King George III or the King George III of Great Britain to bet the United States of America, which has remained the world's bastion of democracy for over 249 years. So America will claw to 250 under Trump. I think that's ahead of 2027, patriotic Nigerian political, business, academic, and religious ethics should join force to give Tinubu and the APC a run for their money and usher in a new year, a new Nigeria, as Nigeria will be mapped into an autocracy and one-party state. It's already a one-party state. Among the men of means who bought King George Stud, who fought King George Stud of Great Britain's were George Washington from Virginia, John Adams from Massachusetts, Samuel Adams from Massachusetts, Joshua Billett from New Hampshire, Carter Brixton from Virginia, Charles Carroll of Carrollton from Maryland, Samuel Chase from Maryland, Abraham Clark from New Jersey, George Clapper from Pennsylvania, William Ellie from Rhode Island, William Floyd from New York, Benjamin Franklin from Pennsylvania, Berry Getty from Mass, Bolton Grimmett from Georgia. Oh, wait, is that why they name Gwinnett County? Huh. See? I would want this to come. Why am I in Gwinnett County? That's okay, I get it now. Len Hall from Georgia, John Hancock from Mass, Benjamin Harris from West Virginia, John Hart from New Jersey, Joseph Harris from North Carolina, Thomas Howard Jr. from South Carolina, Williams Hooper from North Carolina, Stephen Hopkins from Rhode Island, hmm, Francis Hopkins, Francis Hopkinson from New Jersey, Samuel Huntington from Connecticut, Thomas Jefferson from Virginia, Francis Letchford Lee from Virginia, Richard Henry Lee from Virginia, Francis Lewis from New York, Faith Livingston from New York, Thomas Lane from South Carolina, Thomas McCain from Delaware, Arthur Middleton from South Carolina, Lewis Morris from New York City, Robert Morris from Pennsylvania, John Morton from Pennsylvania, Thomas Nelson Jr. from Virginia, Williams Park. Now, I dey read all these names to ask one question. How come the people that negotiated our Nigeria are only being they only create about what, 4 or 5 people? Zeke, Amadu Bello, Tony Enaro, Awolowo. I mean, somebody should help me. I wonder why we are this kind of job. Anyway, and where did you? Okay, somebody said, where did you copy that from? So still on the articles on Obi side, not necessarily on Obi side. One would say, okay, playing the opposition again. Good morning, sir. What I need from you come 2027 is just it's not just words. I want you to fight for the presidency of this country like your life depends on it because our only livelihood depends on it. So it's if you really love your supporters, you will bring that presidency home. Abubakar Nengi, I like that. Sir Peter Obi is not a credible and reliable opposition leader. In fact, to me, he is not even an he's not even an opposition he's not even as an opposition leader. He is being seen as tribal bigots who only support his base. Obi criticism Obi criticism of President Tinubu is not a constructive one, but born out of anger and show and frustration. Nah, try again. That no follow. Try again. That's what they call E4
You are watching feudalism being institutionalized in broad daylight. Feudalism thrives on impunity. It does not thrive on the rule of law. That is what you are seeing institutionalized. Law does not matter and cannot and must not matter if feudalism must reign. And that is what has happened. What all the people who have helped to institutionalize this madness would have found is that they have helped to promote the reign of evil. Because if this evil is condoned in relation to one, it is institutionalized in relation to all.
I'm desperate to see Nigeria war.
No, be desperate.
And because I've been inside, I know it is presently a criminal enterprise. It must be dismantled. And that's how Africa is. Because as governor, I can take my state money and come here and buy a house. Buy a house all over the world that I don't need. So that's what we need to dismantle. If we dismantle it, it will work. There's no reason why we should be where we are. Today, secondary school penetration in Nigeria is 28%. China is 90%. It shouldn't be. We can do more. So we are waiting.
When I like, share, and subscribe, that's all I ask of you brokers. Anyway, still on articles, tweet. Keep the fire burning. Keep this kind of tweet up for a year and watch Nigerian change. It's time for the opposition to be united. People way of view things is just too simplistic. It's funny. I would say I'm not talking to myself. I know that's with my. So when Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was in power, APC led by Tinubu and Buhari criticized and led various kind of violence protests against his government. Yet Goodluck never once retaliated or even tried to arrest any of them. Fast forward to 2018 to 2020, A lot of Nigerians were being unpicked, arrests, including Dadiata. Till today, no one knows of his whereabouts. 10 of Nigerians were killed on Lekki tollgate during the NSAS protest, while hundreds were injured nationwide under Buhari-led government. Some things it's happening under Tinubu-led government were hitting critics and opposition voice are being suffocated, silenced, and witch hunts. I have come to believe that what I have been practicing under APC for the past decade in democracy and not democracy. Democracy, not democracy. Hmm. The lala one. When Nigeria have had enough, they know what to do to take back their country from the corrupt people holding us down. But sit down, let keep fighting. I don't understand. Now, the only thing that can happen after Tinubu, maybe that they will put another party in. That I agree. But I see the same people they would group. Tinubu has distanced himself from Felix Morka because he spoke in capacity as an APC steward. So what does that mean? What's the difference between APC and Tinubu? Why can't Tinubu distance himself from like some people just well, their job anyway. Unlike Tinubu did approve what Felix, he doesn't need to approve it. He's speaking for the party. He is the leader of the party. You haven't come out calling him other. The guys he come, they run him out. So what you might do? And I think that's another thing, right? We tend to single out the person from the party. We don't forget in our party. Nine be the cocoa party produce the person, not the other way around. At the point whereby Tinubu is seeking for re-election, attack the party. Let the party not be popular. By the time we go the party hierarchies, go after the party other members. What I mean member elect who are in elective position, going after them in the sense that don't vote for them. They are crippling the party. Crippling the party, not automatically the president is easy to get. Felimoso was responding to a question the interviewer asked. Somehow that "you have crossed the line" statement is being used by the opposition to whip up sentiment. People are just fucking crazy. It's not. I know we may not even pay attention to that line. Not even that. It's not about the line that he used. It was when he said he should watch out. Whatever is coming for him, should manage. That's where the threat is. The threat knows line on the crossing the line. It's that line. It's more to crossing the line. The guy said, "Whatever, take whatever that is coming to you, and if you manage it, whatever that means, that's what people are saying you should explain." Well, I understand how it is opposition policy. The goal is to demarket the ruling party at all costs. Right? That's not part of it too. But on this point, they are on point. They are not propagating anything that is not there that you cannot verify. Well done. However, it's time to move past talking and start forming a strong coalition. These articles articulated. Good. If we all keep quiet, we will cease to have a country. The APC and Tinubu do not mean well for Nigeria. So I talk and say, show where they decided to take the other side. Show where they go after Tinubu instead. Because supporting the only if you want to go direct to this what is going on, you have no choice than to go support Obi because he hasn't done anything that warrants whatever attention that is there from the government. So you rather go after the government. Anyway, we'll come to a show where we respond later. Thank you, Atiku Abubakar, for coming out firm and strong for challenging the APC government, trying to stifle the spokesperson's voice, the outspoken voice. APC enjoyed democracy during Jonathan administration. To an extent, they did all sorts of things unacceptable Peter Obi has been civil in his comments. You're right. Thank you, Atiku Abubakar, Your Excellency. Thank you for speaking out on the matter, Excellency. The man dies. Said, I expected to see a joint world press conference involving the foreign and local media house. This will be the best time for you and Peter Obi to let the world know the oppressive and presentism to the APC. Yeah, this guy. It's not that serious. What I mean is not that serious. Just because it will be the visit Abubakar and Abubakar, the form Obi back. That's not going to work. Obi don't have, Obi has defined himself. Obi is able to separate himself. So the idea that he should come up and run a joint conference, those are words. Eh? If the presidency is more sure for Obi going forward than Atiku, Atiku is on his own run. So asking the two of them to go and do a joint work conference, I don't get it. I don't see the I don't see the I mean I see where you are going with that, but it's not that simple. Now, Abubakar said, this tweet shows that we are going to have a united opposition in Nigeria come 2027. I love the fact that you have dropped party differences and speak out against opposition and threats from the ruling party. See, now you let me dey read meaning to Atiku's support for Obi on this particular time on this issue. Now, Collins, as in say, I hate politics. Yesterday activities have shown. No, yesterday activities have not become today's oppressor. Yesterday activists. Sorry, I'm not going to. What am I doing? Let's say I need to roll up. Anyway, how big boy that is there? This is a switch child. Daddy Yata. Hashtag Daddy Yata. How big brother doing? How this guy is funny. You say, how big brother doing? This is how you do it. Put all your weight behind Peter Obi and see how Nigerians will flourish. I like that. I like that. Oh, wow. This is interesting. It's an interesting time ahead. Thank you for this wonderful, this is the esteem. Thank you for this wonderful message of solidarity. However, I think it's time for the opposition to unite against these monsters who call themselves progressives. There's not a single thing progressive about them. Time to act now. Some Tochuku said, great landing, great ending your voice. Priska said, what can you do to solve the main problem, of Nigerian people before they buy finish? Thank you, Mr. President, for always standing for Peter Obi. Bosun Oladele, you guys think being in opposition is to run your mouth down at every opportunity and run it around. I'm sure you can't count how many times the so-called Peter Obi and yourself have made statements so acted in a way dismembering, in a way dismantled. The Obi and yourself have made statements that acted in a way detrimental to unity and of essence to Nigeria people. Remember, yes, that the audio of his religious war. He's just been told he has crossed the line very often and should realize the consequences. I beg, say your own. After all, you both are in the same WhatsApp group. Hello, wow, it's really interesting. Hearing people they read meaning to this in very form. Ima Ike said, Ima Ume said, thanks my leader for standing up for Peter Obi. I have bromance below Atiku and Peter Obi. Police and DSS can arrest innocent citizens over social media posts, but can't caution Felix Morka for threatening Peter Obi. Maybe then the power. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand people they work. Who they pay the police? Let's hear what Shawori says about this. It's a light trouble. Tick, tick, tick. Shawori. So will they go the other route? Shawori, not my guy. Shawori, no say, if you go Obi side, either way, either against or for, you might not go where. Shawori busy to attack Wiki first.
I think the major challenge that confronted the NWC, which led to the issue of disagreements and dismemberment of the working committee, is the fact that the current acting chairman, Ambassador Ilyas Udamagun, has practically overstayed his welcome as the acting chairman. And because of that, some members of the working committee believe that, oh, okay, let us find a situation in which the North Central can come in. But like the Governors Forum has said, and they were that position is very concerning, that, look, let us pull all the problems aside. Let us find a pathway. I wouldn't want to be seen as somebody who is stoking the fire. And because of that, I agree, I'm in tandem with the disposition of the Governors Forum that we must create the pathway to harmony and unity in the party.
Ben Samuel said, unfortunate, Felix Morka missed the opportunity on a rise to set the record straight, issue a sincere apology, and resolve the matter properly. The guy said he not do anything, and he's also claiming trade. Una they ask for apology. He said he asked for apology. Isn't that sweet? I will apologize to both of them. Please, they should continue. We're loving it. Felix Morka needs to come out and explain where Peter Obi crossed the line. This is democracy. Opposition have rights to call out the government out of the day to order. The statement by Morka needs to be addressed. Keep the fire burning. Keep the kind of tweet up for a year and watch Nigeria change. He said, as my favorite. this, this is the time. This is the more reason you should support Peter Obi in 2027. We are talking to a 14-year-old man to step down. We teach Atiku more than 40 years. Thank you, Your Excellency, for this loud voice with which you have called out the miscellaneous or malicious comments made by Felix Morka against Peter Obi. It's clear that APC does not want and cannot want mistakenly send money to a wrong. Yes. You are all shade of immaturity, and people like sons never be allowed to the helms of power. About their pro-max. When we believe that with your experience and maturity, sir, that you will be better than Peter Obi, lo and behold, you fall flat and get consumed by the voice of fools, according to you. Mahdi was posting fake video to encourage men in our nation, and you behave a sane government should be, of course, don't be saying believe because it na im boss.
And I just take the last part of Order 38. That is order of the business. Mr. President, the order of the business says, number 10, that our business for the day will be based on the order paper. The order paper does not contain this. And for God's sake, this is a very, very, very important matter. We should not in any way try to use the position of the Senate because the order paper is clear and we have been doing this. I have no problem having them to come here and explain whatever. We have been doing that, but we follow known procedures. And that is if today this thing has to be taken, you now quickly ask for supplementary order paper that will reflect this. And as you said, this is a very, very important matter. It is not a matter that you just come and tell us after we are doing business of the day. Mr. President, you can have your way, but I will have my say. You will have your way, but I can have my say. You can use the gavel, and I will use my voice. This thing is very sensitive. Our people have been dominated by this matter. When you say it's matter of urgent national importance, yes, we do have matters of urgent national importance. But even those matters normally is referred to the next legislative date or another legislative date. Please, I beg you in the name of God, in the name of God, this matter is very, very important to not only us, but Nigerians that we represent. And we swear by Bible and Holy Quran that will represent the interests of the people. These people partially have spoken. The governors, the National Economic Council, and that makes
you have made your point. Can I respond to you?
You can rule me out of order.
Let me respond. Let me respond to you. Now, please, we are not here for rhetorics. We are acting on fact. Excuse me. Order, please. Order, please. Order, please. Order, please. Order.
You, because you are sitting there saying saying it's written.
I know.
Are you saying, Mr. President, that a Senate?
No, leave me. Allow me. Wait a minute.
Is that fair to yourself? Now rule me out of order.
Okay, thank you very much. We're giving you a chance to speak. Please, I refer you to order 1B, which the leader came under. Can you read order 1B for me, please? Can you read order 1B? Okay. Order 1B read as follows. In all cases not provided for in this standing order, or by sessional or other orders or practice of the Senate shall by resolution regulate its procedure. This is what we have just done. This is the resolution that we have just passed. You needed to have known what we have done. I therefore rule you out of order.
You know, Reuben Abati's statement that Ndi Igbo do not sell land to the outsiders, it's very unfortunate. It's unguarded. And I think it was meant particularly to malign Ndi Igbo with very ulterior motive. Let me start. My father was into real estate business. And before the war, a man who was not from my town bought a land, had his documents. After the war, the man did not know where the land was, did not have any documents. They told him my father was the honest man. Now point the land to him. He came to my father with gifts and all those. My father said, no, I remember you. I'll take you to your land anytime you are ready. My father took him to his land, and the man turned out to be a bank manager. And he told my father, so it is really true, we still have honest people. Yeah, he is now going to facilitate a loan for my father to improve his business. And that was how my father took loan from the bank and nationalized his transport business, which helped him to become one of the richest men in the town during our own time, because he sold land to somebody who is not from our town. And so when a man now comes to make statements that he's not versed in, then you will know that he has personal anti-Igbo mentality in his gene. Recall that when Nigeria got its independence, University of Nigeria was sited in Nsukka, my town. And that made it a town that everybody from Nigeria came into the land. And it's because they were accommodated. Also, you had a lot of Yoruba, Hausa, coming to University of Nigeria. There were 3 universities then. You had University of Ibadan. They named it after Ibadan. You had Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. And then you had University of Nigeria. So would a town with a people that have been pro-Nigeria from beginning begin to discriminate as to who to sell land to? Would the people whose article in trade is buying and selling begin to discriminate when they want to sell their land? When an Igbo man is dealing in business, he's looking at profit and loss, not where you come from. Now, if Ndi Igbo are doing well in real estate in Lagos and doing well in real estate in Abuja, where did they learn it from? They learned it from dealing in real estate from their own town, from their own place, because that is merely an expansion. You can't give what you don't have. Now, do you sell land to your own people? No. Everybody has land. If you are a man in Igbo land, you're entitled to a plot of land in your own land. So if there was any land sold by Ndi Igbo, it is sold to people who are not Ndi Igbo. And then, how can somebody ignorantly begin to make such statement? Reuben Abati simply celebrated his ignorance publicly. And let me tell you, he offended the legal profession, because in law, you don't condemn a people unheard. You cannot condemn a people without hearing from their side. He just said he borrowed a language from T.O.S. Benson without even knowing the context. And he ran to television and established it and asserted it as a fact. It's against the legal profession. And he condemned Ndi Igbo unheard. What he would have done is to get an Igbo expert to be educated or present him on the studio.
You talk about Obi, yet you still manage to bring up Malam Shehu. Guys, some people, some people know they explain every word, every if possible, every letter said. Then you say you talk about Obi, yet you still manage to bring up Malam Shehu, who is clear threat to our democracy into your trade. Aren't you tired of this nonsense you are saying? Ah. You were bullied into deleting a tweet condemning the brutal killing of a young girl. You should really be ashamed. Some people, I like that. But how did I know that the man is that they did all this tweets? Okay, you need help. Oh. Thank you, His Excellency. It is time to salvage Nigeria from jackass, counterworms, and powermers. I mean, a power with that currently suffocates our God-given nation. Our God-given another nation. With you, Mr. Gaslighter, aka Mr. Serial Loser. You and Obi are mad together. It's not. It will not be well with you, in particular article. You will live in pain and agony. In Jesus' name. Aye. My people, my people. If you are from Benue, Jos, Kogi, Kwara, and Benin, and other southwest thinking of choosing Atiku over Tinubu, you are basically inhuman and dangerous to be with. As a blood, as a blood of that innocent girl killed by those terrorists in the north, and Atiku could not condemn till today will hurt you and your family. Basically, you are simply inviting those days to come back to life again. I wish you luck. Be careful what you ask for, so you might just get it. The survival as your papa no see them to steal them. They finally survived Christmas and swear you are targeting this time period now. I am sure before they hand over. I don't know what the fuck that was talking about. If there is an award for stupidity, you deserve one. Forgive first. Give the awards to your father before you start studying. Actually, it's not called serious. Sure. What should we talk now? Don't take a different turn to your papa, your mama. Where were you when Labour Party followers were bullying everybody and sending threats to other people on its same app? Please don't play angel here. I find your comments both disturbing and irresponsible. Some people where they talk as if they demanded their president and slap am. So I find your comments. I find your comments both disturbing and irresponsible, especially given your expected status compared to Bajue Peter Obi. Following in his footsteps would benefit you in the long run. Atiku don't join this senseless wagon, everybody. This is what you learn. This is what you learn. Well, this is what you learn. I will reduce opposition to shameless acting like an Adubo to Peter Obi in a mundane matter that any serious-minded person should even have it. What's your thought or time? Nigeria should be thanking God for not electing you or Peter Obi. Yeah, speaking for Nigeria. Why you, sir, to speak for Nigeria? Thank you for joining your voice, sir. Please consider being a press release physically and taking questions. If you don't feel as if what I do interview, I'm not mistaken. Where is Felix? I've been Lexi. The other Atiku, and then I invite and call my invite and come here. That'll be a big deal. It'll be a big deal. So if anyone that is out there listening to me, who can get us a link to Atiku Abubakar so we can intervene. That'll be interesting. So Obedience are winning. They are doing well so far, beginning of the year. They finished strong, 2024, and they pick up right where they stopped in 2024. So they improve on it. Obedience are on the news for a good cause. They are on the ride, as you say. My son, like 100 years ago. Really, I mean,